I think NASCAR can take a step in looking at it, and if the second place driver dumps, quote unquote, the leader, then black flag his ass. He doesn't get the win. You know, if he's on him from behind and moves him out of the way, and there's no wreck, then fine. You know, he can win the race. But if you're up alongside a guy and you dump him, then I'd say black flag him and give the win to the third place guy.
And let me just clarify, just since I'm not a driver, last week's situation, would that be considered a dump in your mind then? Or
it would
not?
be considered a dump.
That was a long ways from a dump in my mind. I would say that they're both battling for the win. It's Daytona, Talladega, those types of tracks. You do that stuff. Tony made a great move to get to Kyle's outside, and then watching it, it's so hard to tell. I mean, they were picking me apart with my incident on with the 12 car on the backstretch, and you know, I was on the brakes trying to avoid David Stremme, and he was confused and didn't know which direction he was going. He's going left and right, and I ended up taking him out, but I was on the brakes hard to avoid him. He just wasn't going. So I was, you know, that was my fault, but it wasn't, you know, and that's that type of race. And I think Tony made a great move to get to Kyle's outside. To me, it looked like Tony was going to side draft and try to get up and pass him at the line. And Kyle turned right, you know, and tried to block that, and Tony was there. So I would say that was definitely not Tony's fault. That was a racing incident, and that's the way racing goes. That's that type of racing at those types of tracks. I thought it was pretty exciting.
Tony, you probably didn't hear what Kyle said this morning. He came in.
I have already seen the transcripts from it.
So you don't want to say anything about what he said today?
No, like I said a second ago, I talked to Kyle on, I guess it was Tuesday is when I spoke to Kyle, and I had a good conversation with him, and that's the conversation I'm going off of. So that's all I'm going to talk about it.